Hello again and welcome to the Warhammer 40K Imperial Guard Tactics video. Now before we get into today's video, I want to say a big thank you to Achilles Ridgerunners, I hope I am pronouncing that correctly, for sending in some pictures of his Imperial Guard, the Legio Gladius, holding the line. I think these look absolutely fantastic. Thank you for sending these pictures in, Andre. Particularly like the Lord Commissar that you've got in there, that classic one with the bolt pistol power sword. I've got one of those myself. I think it was the first Commissar that I got when I was getting back into my Imperial Guard after a big hiatus. So, still got mine. He's absolute beast in combat. That guy. He's one-shotted a Demon Prince once. Admittedly, the Demon Prince was on one wound, but he only had a bolt pistol. So there you go. This is back in 6th edition. But if anyone, so that's why I love that Commissar model. If anyone else has any cool pictures they would like to send in to me, please post on my Facebook page. There'll be a link down in the description below. And yeah, I mean, I love using your guys' pictures. You guys have some really impressive armies, some lovely paint schemes, and I feel like it's the least I can do is, after all the support you give me, the least I can do is show off some cool pictures of your army. So once again, thank you, Andre. Thank you to all the others that send in your awesome pictures. You guys are awesome. And without further ado, let's crack on with this video. So we're going to be continuing, guys, with my how can the Guard leverage the Genes to the Occult Codex series. I probably need to come up with a snappier title for that for when I actually put this video up. But this is an Imperial Guard Tactics series, but taking a look at the Genes to the Occult new codex and how can we take advantage of certain things in there while still remaining true to being Imperial Guard. Basically, we're looking at some of the non-mutant models, and because Genes of the Occult can ally in Guard detachments, and the Genes of the Occult themselves have access to a whole plethora of humanoid and completely non-mutant models, and like for example Neophyte hybrids, Brood Brother squads, half the new characters are all completely normal looking people. So how can we take advantage of this, and what tactics can we come up with? Now obviously some of these tactics will completely apply to Genes of the Occult as well, but I'm doing this for my, almost how, if we're looking at the Genes of the Occult Codex as an expansion to the Guard, because the two armies can work together, what can these guys bring to the table that the Guard currently can't do? Or can these guys do it better, or at the very least just give us a fun alternative? And I'll tell you what we're going to be looking at today, guys. We're going to be looking at the Ridgerunner Firebase. So last time we looked at the Brood Brother bomb, and today we're going to be looking at the Ridgerunner Firebase. Now this essentially is a very simple combination, guys, but I think it offers something which the Guard currently struggle with, okay, which is a way to counter -1 to hit armies with our one-shot wonder sort of big punchy weapons, our go big or go home weapons. So essentially what it relies on, guys, is you take a number of Achilles Ridgerunners. I'd say about 3 Achilles Ridgerunners, and they are the new sort of Dune buggy model from the Genes of the Occult Codex. Now what these guys get is they get a 14-inch movement, their early weapon skill 6, their 4+ ballistic skill, strength 5, toughness 5, 8 wounds, and they've got a 4+ save. And so they're pretty fragile, but they're kind of like a faster, with more wounds sentinel. That's kind of how you can look at it. And they come with 3 weapon options. You get a heavy mining laser, a heavy mortar, and a missile launcher, and as standard each one comes with 2 heavy stubbers. Now you don't really want to be you don't really care about the missile launcher, and you don't really care about the heavy mortar in this example, because the heavy mortar is just like it's just crap. It's just, the Imperial Guard is not short of mortars and weapons that can fire indirectly. We don't need another one of those. The missile launcher is okay, but it's a single shot. Okay, it's a single shot. And again, we have plenty of access to that kind of stuff in our army anyway. The heavy mining laser is an interesting option. Now, it's a 36-inch range las cannon, so for instead of one shot, It gets D3, which is on average is going to be 2 shots, guys. Which means if you take 3 of these Achilles Ridgerunners, you're looking at 6 las cannon shots. Quite tasty. Now, why would you pick these things over armored sentinels or sentinels in general? Okay, because that's what these things are competing with in your guard army, is sentinels. Well, obviously they've got a couple more wounds. The flare launcher does allow you to, which is what it comes with the standard, which costs 5 points, does allow you to give you a 6 up feel no pain on your vehicle. So whilst you've only got a 4+ armor save, you do have a 6 up feel no pain. Now these guys have a scout move as well, so they are a combination. They are like a scout center. They have a scout move. They can move. They can move 9 inches before the game begins, like sentinels, scout sentinels. And if you want, so obviously they can be kind of. They're about as durable as an armored sentinel, but you can put them in some. You can boost them up into some cover turn 1 with your scout move before the game begins. So that means you can get a 3+ save if you're in cover, and then you get your 6 up feel no pain. So suddenly these guys are looking about as durable as an armored sentinel, with more wounds, with 2 more wounds. So that's important to notice, obviously. Now, if you want to, you can replace the flare launcher, which gives you a 6 up feel no pain, with a survey auger. Now, this is interesting. Survey auger. Units do not receive the benefit of cover for their saving throws for attacks made by a model with the survey auger. Gives you ignore cover. That's actually quite tasty. So suddenly you've got, on average, 2-shot las cannon ignoring cover. Not too shabby. But so far, there's nothing here which is making me think, oh, we should take this over scouts, over sentinels. Because what you've got to, obviously you get your 2 shots, but you have to appreciate that these things are a little bit more expensive than a sentinel. As standard, these things are 50 points. And the heavy mining laser isn't cheap. It's 25 points per heavy mining laser. Now obviously you have to take 2 heavy stuffs as well. So you're looking at 79 points standard. Now if you take a survey auger, that's another 5. You have to take a survey auger or a flare launcher pretty much. Now the survey auger is 10 points and the flare launcher is 5 points. So at the very minimum, you're looking at an 84 point model. So that's tough. 84 points for 2 las cannon shots. That's tough. But bear in mind, if you were to take 2 armored sentinels with las cannons, which is the same amount of firepower, you're looking at 100 points. So whilst you're slightly less durable, for less than, for like 11 point, for 21 points cheaper, 16 points cheaper, sorry, you're getting the same amount of firepower. Now that is important. That does add up, especially with cheaper guard weapons now. But so far, again, that's not what tips it for me. That's not what makes me think these guys should even be considered in a guard army. What makes these things work is the Jackal Alphas. That's a character. Now that's the new sniper biker lady. Now, she has a really good rule, which is priority target sighted. At the start of your shooting phase, select the enemy that is visible to and within 36 inches of this model. Until the end of the phase, add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by cult units that target that enemy unit whilst they're within 6 inches of this model. So there you go, guys. So you can... Now that doesn't stack. You can't... It specifically says enemy unit can only be selected as a target's ability once per phase. But these guys are... The Ridgerunners are cult units. So suddenly you've got those las cannons, or those heavy mining lasers, should I say. Suddenly they hit on 3s. Now that is a big deal. Now, so for a little Firebase of these guys, you're looking at 79 points times 3, plus a Jackal Alpha, which don't dismiss the Jackal Alpha's weapon. I mean, she hits on a 2+, and she has a sniper rifle, which is strength 4, AP -2, and does D3 damage. That thing could do work. Don't dismiss the fact these things come with 2 heavy stubbers each. So you're looking at 6 from this Firebase. You're looking at 18 heavy stubber shots hitting on 3s, and 6 las cannon shots hitting on 3s and a sniper rifle. Now those heavy stubbers, they're probably the equivalent of 3 multi-lasers, roughly. The multi-lasers got better strength, but they've got the same range, the same rate of fire. So when you think about it, this is the equivalent, and that's 6 las cannon shots. So this little Firebase is the equivalent of maybe like 9 sentinels in terms of firepower, 3 with multi-laser, 6 with las cannons, which comes to itself about 450 points. And this little combo of 3 Achilles Ridgerunners with I've got to add on 15 points for the flare launchers. These Achilles Ridgerunners come to 322 points with a Jackal Alpha. So bear that in mind. 322 points will get you 6 las cannon equivalent shots, a big old sniper rifle, and 18 bolter shots. That's not bad at all, guys. And they're all hitting on 3s. If you're targeting them at the same unit, they're all hitting on 3s. That's a nice little Firebase. Now that, ask yourself, what can you get the equivalent of there? Well, you could, for sort of long range las cannon firepower. Well, you could get yourself a couple of bare bones Leon Russes for about the same price. Which are obviously fantastic, don't get me wrong, but they're putting like 46 battle cannon shots out each. So that's don't get me wrong, that's incredible, but they're hitting on 4s, and if you come across, as I said at the beginning of the video, guys, if you have an AP-1 army, not an AP-1, a -1 to hit enemy, then those battle cannons are quickly going to drop off in effectiveness, especially when the enemy degrades them. And Leon Russes are big, obvious targets. They're going to draw firepower. These little buggies, they're smaller. They're not as big a threat. So you've got smaller buggies, which put out great amount of firepower. And thanks to Jackal Alpha, with the +1 to hit, you can get, you're more likely to hit. You can counter the -1 to hit of a lot of armies out there. Putting it all together, you have an effective little alternative to Sentinels, which are a pretty good unit. These guys are a combination of Sentinels and Armoured Sentinels with the firepower of both. That's the way I would look at it. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Tell me what you think. How would you factor this into your Cult Guard PDF army? How would you do it? Let me know how you would. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.